Gary Vee said, if you're creating or selling products, you need to be going live. Live content, it's all the same to me. And whether I use this for content or if I use it for live, it's all the same to me. It will get used. Welcome back to the channel, y'all. As y'all can see, I got my PPE on and we're ready to go ahead and start this backdrop. If you guys have read the title, today we are building a denim backdrop for me personally for my handmade earring collection that is coming soon. So let's go ahead and get into the video. So if it's not apparent already, this is an event arch. You'll see stuff like this at an event, a celebration, a wedding. I want it to go streetwear with a little bit of chic. This is going to be my backdrop for my earrings. I'm going to be modeling my earrings. I'm going to be selling my earrings. I'm going to be talking about my journey, etc. So I wanted it to be streetwear, but chic. So that is the inspo behind this backdrop.
You've heard it here first. We are using recycled denim. One of my favorite and previous favorite mediums to use in my creative endeavors. But we're going to go ahead and get started in building the arch. Feel free to skip forward if y'all just want to see me adding the denim to the arch. But this is just the behind the scenes of me building it. I wouldn't say I would want to take it down, but it was fairly easy to put up. So yeah. It is so hilarious to me when I build stuff. I literally look at the box for a representation of the end product, and child, I just be going off vibes. Sometimes I'll do go by the instructions, like for this table, for example, it's an electric table that rises, and so basically it's an electric table that rises. So I needed the instructions for that. Got lost multiple times. But this little arch, child, all you gotta do is really all you have to do is really just make sure that you have the right numbers or letter and numbers and line them up like you see on the instructions, because I did have to go back and undo the bottom because I did it wrong. It looked very similar. The ones on the side and then the ones on the bottom look very similar. So I did mess up there, so I do want to mention that. But really, it's just lining up the right numbers and clicking them into place. Super duper easy. Probably took me about a good 30 minutes. Well, it took me 30 minutes to take the plastic wraps off of each individual piece. But anyways, y'all, this is from Amazon. I got the height of 7.2 and I got it in a package with 6 feet as well. I'm only going to be using the 7.2 for this project just because I wanted to cover my height with some room left over at the top.
All right, you guys, so if you have made it to this point of the video, you guys have already seen me kind of build the structure. The last thing to do is literally just cover the backdrop with denim. So we have all our denim here, and that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing for the rest of this video. I'm going to be spraying the denim and I'm going to be spraying the structure. It's more like tacky. So I guess my suggestion would be to spray it down first. Like I tried a little patch over there. Just focus the camera. And basically I did both sides and then gave it 10 minutes and I can see that it's stuck. So if you want to do that first, whatever material that you use, you can do that. But we're gonna go ahead and get into it. And I forgot to mention, I'm using fabric scissors. I don't think I mentioned this, but I'm using fabric scissors to cut the denim, which is fabric, because of the type of scissors they are. It lays on the fabric, and let me show you. Actually, I'm not gonna show you guys, but it's better to use fabric scissors. All right, let me actually draw a pattern. We can do black, it doesn't matter. Cut up mommy's jeans with me. Cut up mommy's jeans.
When I tell you guys, this dog is literally so smart. He tries to figure out every little thing. He's involved even when it doesn't involve him. A little off topic, but y'all, cutting these jeans up really took a toll on me. It took me out. I didn't anticipate the arm strength, and I do recommend, you know, if you do have to cut jeans up with scissors, I would recommend doing it the day before, like having it prepared, so you can just kind of work in layers and give yourself, you know, rest in between because it was really a workout. I want to say it took me about 45 minutes in total to cut all the jeans up, and I focused on the pockets. Oh, also shout out to my mom for sponsoring all the denim. I actually found me a pair I can take home with me. I want you guys to guess where I got this idea from. You've got it, IG. Watching IG, TikTok will literally convince you and influence you to do so much. But I did want to drop the photos of the person that I got this idea from and also hers, so you guys can kind of see, where this came from. So yeah, as you guys can see, she focused on the pockets, and so mine is kind of like that. It's definitely the starter inspo, but I didn't have as many pieces as she did. So mine is more elongated. I use more abstract type of template. And then I also didn't have as many light wash. So if you guys want to do this style, I definitely would recommend having a multiple different washes, and then also, just kind of thinking about what you want it to look like in the end. So this is like almost halfway through, and boy, this was definitely harder than I anticipated. It definitely looks easier than it is done. So yeah, it's not an easy task. But what I learned all the way down to the middle is that you can use both sides to kind of like squish the glue and the denim to the backdrop cloth, which is very helpful. And at first I was just pressing the front of it, but once I realized I can squish it together, almost, I guess I can't think of another way to explain that, but just pressing it together, it really helped it tack on a little bit better and quicker. And another thing, with this cloth being white and the spray being non-existent, no color, it was extremely hard to see the glue on the cloth. So even on the denim, but I guess you can't help that, I guess. But you can opt in for a darker backdrop color, that's not white, basically. So a little bit after this clip, really started to struggle. Struggle was my middle name. That darn glue can started sticking on my fingers in the glove, and so I had to just throw it away, y'all, and ordered a new one.
All right, you guys, it is 5 days later, and I got the exact same glue, and it's doing the exact same thing it did before, but the difference is we have made progress. So as you guys can see, I'm almost at the bottom. I even went down to the bottom to kind of seal it off so I can see the end is near. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up. Once I get my groove into it, or I get my rhythm, it does become easier, but I'm going to rate this DIY at the end in case you guys want to do this at home. So let's go ahead and get back into it. Oh yeah, also I wanted to mention, you're gonna want to put something down on your area to where you're working so that there's no glue spraying everywhere. Also, I have a humidifier, I believe, or an air purifier running so that it can clear the air with this, clear the air of the vapor. So yeah. Y'all hear that? That's toxins. Just cover up this spot here. like this is the first patch I put horizontally. Everything else is vertical. Interesting. I'm just throwing stuff up here now. Y'all, I'm ready to be done. All right, you guys, I just finished the denim backdrop DIY. And if I had to rate this DIY, I would say it is a 6 out of 10. So why? Because it is anyways, it is a 7-foot arch. So it's a lot of ground to cover. So that is contributing to my score. Also, the glue can was a doozy. I had 2 in total and they both did the same thing. After I sprayed, after I did half of the arch. Oh, so yes, the spray cans, the glue was a doozy, like the actual like mechanism of the spray can, not the actual glue. Like it worked, but it didn't work with my gloves. I would suggest probably a different spray mechanism to spray better. So yeah, you're going to go through 4 pairs of gloves if you don't want it to stick to the spray can. What else? Overall, the denim does stick to the fabric, but what I can say is not like a flushed look. I mean, it's denim, so it's not going to be flushed completely. Some parts do stick out. It is exactly what I wanted it to be, but just know that it's not going to flush completely against the fabric. So yeah, the goal was to have a creative backdrop for my handmade earrings. When I do content, mission is accomplished. I did what I wanted to do. It gets more inspo down to the bottom. If I had went a little slower, I feel like I would have achieved the inspo a little bit more at the top. It's so funny. I was just thinking I could have done this with AI, but that's no fun. All right, you guys, that wraps up this DIY. If you guys like DIYs like this or DIYs in general, make sure to give me a thumbs up and like this video and subscribe to join the community. We're going to be back with more videos. Bye.
Your face card never declines. My God, eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it. Yummy, 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 make the bummy heat it. Make the